Well, it's finally that time. Turning Red is officially released. I've been eagerly looking forward to this movie since its announcement from that Disney Investor Day, and after teasers, trailers, pictures, and many people slandering it on Twitter unfairly due to its cartoony art style that obviously homages classic and 80s 90s anime with a fun quirky twist that's really vibrant and eye-catching to look at, it's here! Let's get started with talking about the plot right away. Just a heads up, spoilers incoming. May is a 13-year-old girl who hangs with three of her best friends, Miriam, Abby, and Priya. They're huge fans of the boy band Four Town and express excitement for when they can go see them live on stage. However, she lives with her mother in a temple that honors family tradition and culture, their main thing being an ancestor named Sun Yi, who worships and gives blessings to the red panda. Her mother is trying to raise her to be perfect and straight-headed, and doesn't want her to devolve to becoming a delinquent, and thinks some of her friends are a little bit of a bad influence. After an embarrassing misunderstanding, May's emotions are high, and she ends up unleashing her inner panda. She poofs into this form whenever any of her emotions are pressured, such as anger, sadness, or excitement. Her mother explains that Sun Yi prayed to the gods to give her this form to protect her family, and from that point on, blessed it and passed it down to generation. Basically, it's hereditary. So, May has to learn how to suppress the panda and keep it in until they can perform a ritual to remove it from her, while at the same time, she is wanting to escape from being her perfect little daughter and to go be with her friends to see an upcoming Four Town concert. But as she becomes popular at school because of it and sees the positives to all this, she begins to question herself if she should revert or change for the better. Yeah, it was gonna be obvious that I was gonna love this from the start. I love the concept, the character design, the animation style, the way the story is told, and of course how funny it is. This movie has so many moments of extreme expression, subtleties in the movement, blink and you'll miss it frames, and just so much more. Kudos to the art department and studio for putting all this together because it was certainly a treat. The characters are all so fun to watch. I was glued to the screen every minute just watching everything unfold. Her friends are all so precious as well. They just give off this extreme friendship vibe that is so endearing and sweet. They care for her so much and it shows with every scene. It takes place in the early 2000s, so the boy band obsession makes a lot of sense. Even though it does kind of remind me of BTS in a way, still, it's very humorous. And the original song made for it is actually pretty catchy. As for the main conflict, yes, it definitely has been done before. If anything, I was getting very strong Encanto vibes from this. Mirabel wanting to get approval from her abuela, for instance. It's a little bit of the same here, but, well, very high in energy. Also, with Abuela Alma being strict and a little mean towards Mirabel throughout the movie, Ming, May's mother, is very loving, understanding, and protective. Despite her wanting May to be perfect, she is still there for her every step of the way. Even if it means embarrassing her very badly in public, still, she means well from her heart, which makes it a little different. Kinda like the Goofy movie in a way, just daughter and mother this time. While the wanting to get approval from your parent storyline is here, they do it in a way that makes it very fresh at the same time. The way the movie escalates and gets towards the ending in particular is insane. I had no idea how nuts the climax would end up becoming, with the mother shattering her pendant that kept her inner panda in after the ritual for Mai fails after she decides to keep it. She ends up becoming this gigantic beast which just had my jaw dropped to the floor. I'm glad they didn't spoil this in the trailers or anything because I was certainly surprised. Also, her aunts and grandmother, again, so expressive and fun to watch. When they all became pandas to control her mother, I was losing it. It was just such a blast. I also like that May saw her mother's inner struggle while connecting with her spirit, how she was basically the same as May when she was her age, and she was wanting to get approval from her own mother. She also resents this ugly side of herself because she ended up hurting her own mother, which explains that scar the grandmother has on her face. Ming basically does not want May to go down the same path as her. But what May understands is that sometimes life doesn't go the way you want it to, and you just have to change it to adapt and make yourself happy. Change can be good, and also embracing it is even better. It's something that even I myself is trying to learn nowadays as I age older and older, so it's still really nice to hear this message, even if it's hidden behind a giant panda metaphor. Now, the slander. I hated how everyone decided to attack this movie everywhere, but at the same time, I do kinda understand. This movie is very different from the usual Pixar offering. Their art style is much more cartoonish, the characters are a bit in your face, it's very girl power and energy and tone, and Yeah, it may not be everyone's cup of tea, I get it. But for the people that can accept that aspect of the film for what it is and just give it a chance, I'm sure anyone can get something out of it. Whether that can be complete entertainment or, annoyance. It's cool. But to hate on it so harshly after a few screenshots is undeserved. Especially when people slamming it for being the cow art style, I definitely wouldn't say that. Like I mentioned before, it's paying homage to 80s and 90s anime. I see the influences from Dragon Ball, Pom Poko, My Neighbor Totoro, and all over. Overall, while its main conflict has been done before in the past, it still doesn't take away from how fun I felt the movie was, and how well put together it was. It has heart, tons of humor, and lots of exciting moments and visuals to put a smile on your face. I'm giving Turning Red a light 9 out of 10. Another Pixar movie down. I'm curious to see how Lightyear ends up doing for the studio, and I'm hoping it does get a theatrical release, because, wow, 3 digital releases in a row? They need to catch a break. Tell me guys, what do y'all think of the movie? If it's not your cup of tea, then again, I totally understand. Me personally, I loved it and I can't wait to see it again. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.